Hi friends, welcome back to Calm in the Chaos Homeschool. If you're new here, my name is Davine, and today I'm going to be sharing some of our favorite books and a little bit of resources that we've used in our homeschool as well as just in our home. I am going to leave my favorite book or the one that is closest to my heart for the end, so if you want to know what that is, do stick around. Today's video is a collaboration hosted by Leilani. If you've never seen her channel, you should definitely check it out. She talks about homeschooling special needs as well as just how they homeschool. She does curriculum reviews and flip-throughs and is really funny and has a bunch of funny videos as well. So if you're interested in homeschooling content like that, definitely go check her out. I will also link in the description box below a playlist for the rest of the videos in this collaboration. I'm sure there's going to be so many great recommendations in the videos, so definitely check that playlist out when you're done with this video. All right, so today I'm sharing a variety of books and I would say a resource ranging from things that we have loved in our morning basket to more specifically the topic of adoption and everything in between, like handicrafts and readers and things like that. So the first thing I want to share with you would be my favorite read aloud from last year. That was The Witch of Blackbird Pond. This is about an orphan girl named Kit. She joins this community and she's a little bit different from the community and she makes friends with the person who is considered a witch, and just the story of how she dealt with those circumstances and how she grows in this new environment. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. Very, very solid story. And I love the audiobook. It just helps with some books that have some more deeper language. I don't know. It was enjoyable as an audiobook for sure. Next, I want to share with you my absolute favorite historical fiction young readers author, and that is Clyde Robert Bula. My absolute favorite book from him is The Viking Adventure, but he does a whole bunch of historical fiction books like A Lion to Guard Us, Squanto, Friend to the Pilgrims, but he does a lot of historical fiction and they are all really great reads. I would say that they are kind of at the 3rd grade level, maybe 4th grade level, and just enjoyable, interesting. You learn a lot when you're reading them, as well as it's a great way for kids to learn about history, reading things at their own reading level. So I definitely recommend Clyde Robert Bula books. Next, on the topic of reading, a series that I really enjoyed and my boys have read in the past few years, I would say it's more of a level grade 2 or 3 reading level, and that is this Usborne storybook set. This is for the developing reader. So they have The Snow Queen, Alice in Wonderland, Pinocchio, The Little Mermaid, Wind in the Willows, The Phantom of the Opera, Aladdin, Robin Hood and the Silver Arrow, Arthur and the Sword and the Stone, and The Wooden Horse. I think that's all 10. And this is sort of what the reading level is like. So grade 2, grade 3, they can finish it pretty soon. They have a lot of very beautiful pictures, very colorful. So my kids really enjoyed these. It's a great little set if you want to get something like 10 readers that your kid can read, if that's the level that they're at. Next, I'm going to share 2 of my favorite nature study or nature lore books that we've done in our morning basket over the past few years. The first one is Over and Under the Pond, and there's a series of maybe 4 books, I'm just guessing. There's a series of books like this. I only have this one. I'm not sure where I got it from or why I picked it up, but it's just a beautiful book that creates some interest in the area it's talking about. So this is about under the pond, and my kids were probably 8, 9, 10, and 12 or something when we read this, and we enjoyed it. We just read it over a few sittings, and yeah, we really enjoyed this book. So I would say if that's something, if your kids are a little bit younger, maybe 6, 7, 8, this would be a great thing to add to your morning basket. I would get the series. I think it's a beautiful book and we really enjoyed it. Another series of books that I bought all of them. I bought all of them because I really enjoyed the first one that I did, and I talk about these all the time. So I apologize to people who watch my videos quite a bit, but I'm going to talk about them again. They are Among the Blank People. So this is Among the Forest People. We have Among the Farmyard People, among the pond people, things like that. So I bought all of these. We've been reading just one a year. They're very Charlotte Mason, I would say. They're living books, and the language is a little bit older, but we can learn really interesting facts about animals through these books. So this is by Clara D. Pearson, and I just bought maybe 5 or 6 of them. I don't know how many I have. I've been reading one a year. We usually get through maybe one a week, one story a week, or maybe a little longer. But so this year we're doing Among the Farmyard People. Not my favorite so far. I enjoyed the Forest People and the Pond People more. If you're trying to choose one of them, we've done both of those and they were really great. Next, I'm going to share one of our favorite handicrafts from the last few years and the resources that we used for those handicrafts. These would make a good Christmas gift if you're looking for something to give someone for Christmas. The activity that I think my kids enjoyed the most was clay modeling. So I have several books here. I have modeling clay with 3 basic shapes. I have clay play animal favorites, and I have clay play jewelry. And just as I'm thinking of this, I will link everything in the description box below, everything I mentioned here, so that if you want to look at them further, you can access that easily. So along with that, my set is kind of a mess, but we got a kit like this. So we got a bin and it had a whole bunch of clay in there, and really it's a mess now, but it had little things to make shapes. It had implements and tools for creating the things that you wanted to create. And yeah, we really put these to good use last year. It was a lot of fun. The kids really enjoyed it, and it's just great for all abilities. Those who are very detailed and can make really intricate designs, as well as kids who just need to practice their fine motor skills. So we enjoyed this as a family. Great handicraft if you're looking for one. Next, I want to share one of my favorite social emotional books, one that is really great and gives a good message for the kids that really struggle with mindset. I would say the mindset of not being able to, or can't do this, can't do that, and that kind of mindset. So that is Captain Snout and the Superpower Questions. Don't let the ants steal your happiness. So ants are the automatic negative thoughts. So I have at least one child who deals with automatic negative thoughts. And so this book was really great for just approaching that in a really easy way. And I definitely could tell that my kids understood what it was. It goes through different situations. So it's like there's these kids and they're having, I think it's a car wash, and they're going through these automatic negative thoughts. So they're thinking, oh, people aren't gonna come, blah, 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 because of this. And it just combats those thoughts. So if you have children who struggle with that mindset, struggle with negative thoughts that just pop into their heads, it talks about the reasoning behind why those automatic negative thoughts are not true and how to approach them. So this is a really great book that I picked up quite a few years ago. That's been a really great resource when we're starting to struggle with those a little bit more. Next, I'm going to share one of my favorite adoption books. So if you don't have adopted children or know people who have adopted children, these next few books may not apply to you, but I do encourage you to stick around in case you do meet someone or know someone who is going through adoption. These are some of my favorite adoption related books. So the first one is God Found Us You. This one I bought for my daughter when we adopted her. And it just talks about, it does talk a little bit about how they look different, but they're still a family, and about a mother waiting for her child and finally having her child, or finally getting her child. So that's something this is my favorite one of all the ones that we've purchased. This is my favorite adoption book, just talking about how the process of waiting for your child. Next, I have a resource. It's the only one that I've really used that applies to foster parenting and foster adopting. So it's Zachary's New Home, a story for foster and adopted children. So this is more of a foster story where the child is removed from their home and doesn't understand, and just kind of that process of becoming part of another family. So that's a really important book for kids who are in the foster care system or adopted out of foster care, to understand the process and what's happening. And finally, the last book I'm going to share with you is the one that is most special to me because it is a story that my sister wrote. My sister also adopted a girl from Taiwan, same as me, and our two daughters actually grew up together. They were in a home together for a year before we were able to adopt them and bring them home. So this is about my niece. It's based on my niece and my sister. It's called We Match on the Inside. And what it talks about is about how even though kids don't look like their parents, it's okay, and how to answer questions that people ask. So for example, my sister and my niece look different, and sometimes my niece gets questions at school like, oh, is that your mom, and things like that. And it talks about different strategies that kids can use to answer those questions depending on how close they are to the person who's asking and their mood at the time. So just polite ways or funny ways to answer that question, to either avoid that question or answer it more fully. So it's a great resource for people who have adopted, especially I would say internationally or across racially. Those are when the differences are more distinct. It's a great book for that, and just equipping the children who have been adopted on how to answer those questions that they get. So those are my recommendations to you, some of my favorite books that we have in our home and that we use in our homeschool. Thank you so much for coming today. Don't forget to check the playlist below to see what all the other homeschool moms are recommending. If you're new here, I would love for you to subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell notification so you're notified of when future videos are up. I'm going to be doing a lot of curriculum flip-throughs and reviews in the next few weeks, so I'd love for you to stick around. Thanks so much for coming today, and I hope to see you in my next video. Goodbye, everyone.